sexual assault. You're stupid behind when they got accused again. There is no excuse for that level of stupidity. It's inexcusable. I think the crime that should be publicized is that he was stupid. You don't even have to say sexual assault, whatever, because we don't know what happened. But you were stupid, putting yourself in that position. And then when you consider the details that came coupled with it, here you are, you're a guy, you're inebriated, she's inebriated. You take her to the bathroom, your transcript is saying you had your private parts out. You got security personnel that are blocking others from coming to help her. The cameras, the surveillance cameras that were there, that's glossed over and taped over. And oh, by the way, the bathroom, the alleged scene of the crime, has been scrubbed down with pine saw 8 hours before the police arrived. It's just too damn fishy. You know what? You may not be able to be convicted in a court of law, but for your flagrant stupidity and for what appears to be a cover-up, this is the least that the commissioner could have handed down. I entirely support it.
I remember the old show you had on ESPN, the Stephen A. show.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly, with Stephen A. You had AI on, you used to write up down in Philly, you had a rapport, a friendship with AI. Have you spoken to him lately? What Allen Iverson?
Allen Iverson is incredibly upset with me right now. He has a right to be because he didn't appreciate what I wrote. The thing is that he didn't know what I could have written. And that's the reality of the situation. You're not supposed to admit this as a journalist, but you're supposed to remain as objective as you possibly can. But the truth is, I love Allen Iverson. I've known him for 14 years. I got a lot of love for the brother because I know where he came from and I know what trials and tribulations he goes through on a personal level. And so I understand the challenges that he faces. But that doesn't mean you can ignore the problems that he's had, the problems that he creates for himself. And more importantly, when you create it and continue to create it in a public forum, at bars, at casinos, things of that nature, at some point in time, it's time for somebody to say, look, you got to chill, because you're going to kill yourself. And even though I'm a journalist, I also believe that as much as I can possibly be, I'm a friend. And in my eyes, I was looking out for him. I'm sorry he doesn't see it that way. Hopefully one day he will. But if he doesn't, so be it. I stand by what I wrote, and I do it again.
Final question. You were the NBA man for years on ESPN. We in the playoffs. You home. Back home in New York. Queensport. We in the Mecca. What's your prediction for this year's final?
I'm thinking LA versus Cleveland.
Who you taking away?
I think Dallas could beat LA, but I'm still going to go with LA because they don't have the black mamba. Dallas don't have the black mamba. But I think this is LeBron's time. I can see that look in his eye. It's the same look that Michael Jordan had when he was trying to come through the Pistons. And I think it's his time. But more importantly than that, Danny Ferry has made every move imaginable. LeBron James has no excuse. You got Shaq to defend a white, so you don't have to double down and leave Orlando's perimeter shooters open. You got Anthony Barker, Jamario Moore, two oversized guys that can guard a small forward spot. You can defend those tallest shooters in Orlando. Then you went out and you got Antoine Jameson to put the nail in the coffin. You have no excuse if you're LeBron James. You can't win it this year. You can no longer be called the chosen one. It's that simple.
Here's my last question. I gotta get your thoughts on the whole Philly trade. Trading McNabb to the Skins. And now all this talk about McNabb trying to, talk about getting CO to come in. Please put these cats on blast for me.
Well, first of all, the Eagles shouldn't have traded Donovan. They completely shafted him. The man took him to 5 NFC championship games, passed for 32,000 yards, almost 33,000 yards in his career. He deserved better. Than you rumoring that you were going to let him go, dangling his name in the wind. It's real jacked up what they did to him. And then to add insult to injury, even though they didn't want to trade him to somebody within the division, you basically forced the issue by disrespecting him to begin with. You didn't say it was a youth movement. You didn't say that you didn't want to pay him a long-term contract after this season. You said Kevin Cobb gives you a better chance at winning. That's the ultimate damn insult, right? So I hope he kicks their butt. With that being said, they got a weak offensive line in Washington. They don't have a good receiver going on. One receiver caught for 1,000 yards. And they have one running back who rushed for 1,000 yards. All of those things count against him. So when you take all of that into consideration, to have a tough road. He doesn't necessarily care if T.O.'s there or not. He didn't politic for T.O. He doesn't mind having it, but he didn't politic for him. Redskins are saying they're not going to bring T.O. I spoke to T.O. this morning on my radio show, Fox Sports Radio. He said he'd love to come to Washington, D.C., but he don't get to make that choice. So it's a non-story.
What if Vince Carter had Kobe's heart?
Then he'd be Kobe.